Welcome back to another episode.
Cold-blooded recap is here.
Oh yeah, week 7.
Episode 7.
Week 7. That's crazy. That's almost 2 months, man.
Yeah, 2 months.
We're
Commitment.
A couple weeks away.
Consistent is key, John.
Oh yeah.
Well, as you know, John, Lunch Lady D,
It's
wife behind
John,
the camera,
known as John.
Yes, indeed.
Also known as John. Actually, you know what? It's a great line. We might have some merch soon.
Oh.
With that exact line. If you want it, let us know.
Stay tuned. But welcome back to episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate everyone tuning in every week. We try our best to entertain you all, and we do appreciate you guys tuning in every
Lord
week.
knows we have fun.
Oh yeah,
That's
all
for
the time.
Sure. That's for
no
sure.
doubt. But this week was an
got
alright
some
week.
fun stuff, man.
Yeah.
We got a little bit. Well, actually, we're just gonna get into it, but we'll talk about just kind of the subjects. We have NBA,
Right.
we have NFL news, we got UFC news, we got 6ix9ine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's back.
I smell cheese.
He's
We got some 6ix9ine, some fun news.
Yes.
And
then we got some UFC.
Yeah. We got some
UFC.
A little bit of some player drama.
Right.
Draymond Charles, but let's get into it, man. What are we starting with?
The schedule came out. NFL schedule came out. I've seen a couple pictures about it. I didn't really look into it, but the Buccaneers are one of the teams. I think they're tied for primetime games this year.
Yeah,
it's that TB effect.
It's TB effect, man. It's Tom Brady. I mean, and it's great. It's a great storyline because I mean, just how great Tom Brady is,
Right.
And the fact that he actually left New England for Tampa, Florida, of all places, right?
Right.
You know, that's exciting. People want to see that.
It doesn't stop there though. He brought Gronk.
Gronk's with them.
Wow, who would have thought?
And Gronk said, if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably gonna mince his words a little bit, but I know it's something along the lines that he wouldn't play for anybody other than Tom Brady.
Other than TB.
Bill Belichick didn't even matter. So
right.
TB12 was all he wanted, and
I mean, I think
that's
to show how good of a teammate Tom Brady is.
for sure.
You know,
for sure.
he's a leader, obviously.
And just how much of a star he is. I mean, let's be real. Like LaMelo Ball, I know. You know, I don't know about you, but I wasn't watching the NBL all the time.
Not really.
So
Some
LaMelo
highlights.
Ball, you know, Hampton, I believe. RJ.
RJ, yeah.
I was the other player to, you know, go over
overseas.
there. So that's just, you know, the star factor, which is pretty cool. But
right. All right. So we're gonna be talking about the way too early.
Way
too early NFL rankings.
I like it.
We'll do the top 10 to kind of keep it short, but so number 1 would be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Super Bowl defending champs.
You know what? I believe in the Madden curse. I believe in the Super Bowl slump. That's probably not a term. Maybe I just made that up. But a lot of teams don't really repeat.
Yeah.
Not even making the playoffs. I mean, I believe it might have been the Patriots, maybe New Orleans.
At what?
They went all the way. No, I don't think it was New Orleans. It had to be. But anyways, a team did really good, and then like the next season, they're out of the playoffs.
The 49ers?
I don't know. Probably.
I know what you mean, though. I know, they kind of fall off.
Yeah, exactly. So but Mahomes is so damn good. And that team is just great in general too. So I don't know if that's going to even matter. And I don't know. I think it's one is a very valid answer. Yes.
Right.
I
they're number 1, and I mean I can see why. You know, Mahomes obviously a big key of that offense. And then number 2 is the Baltimore Ravens.
Here's the thing. I believe in the Madden curse. Okay. Lamar is on the cover. Actually, Mahomes kind of beat the curse, right? Which is kind of cool. Anyways. I'm just playing around about the Madden curse, actually. But as far as Lamar, I don't know if he has what the Ravens need in order to make that next step. I think he's a great, amazing regular season player. But once the playoffs is on, it's a little bit more dialed in. You kind of have less things to worry about, like a regular 16-game season compared to playoffs is you win or you go home, right? Right. Anyway, so I feel like when they played, they were out the first the first round. Well, technically they had the bye, so they played the the winner out of the bye, but they didn't come to play.
Yeah,
they lost to Titans.
I think they just need a little bit. Lamar Jackson needs just a little bit more experience.
For sure.
I think eventually.
They lost to the Titans where they were a one-way offense.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
The Patriots lost.
Exactly.
I don't know, but
I'm not saying they're not good.
Right. But I think eventually, here in a couple years, maybe maybe he'll lead them to a deep playoff run. I'm not sure if they'll win it all. Just see how he develops over there.
I wouldn't like to see it. As a Steeler fan, right? Rivals, but I love the kid, and I think he's gonna be good, and I think he's gonna be successful. He might get a chip.
Right.
Hopefully not on us over Pittsburgh, but
number 3 is the 49ers. 49ers. They're number 3.
You know what? I don't think they're bad, and they just picked up, their first rounder, receiver Ayuk.
Yeah.
Which the head coach can rave enough about him, which it's like, this is the wide receiver we want.
They traded up for him, so they have high hopes on him.
Yeah, and they have good running backs. The quarterback is solid. The line is pretty good. An amazing tight end, Kittle.
Yeah.
And their defense is just getting better.
Right. And then number 4, the Saints.
Yes, I agree with that. They actually.
You think so?
I hope they make the jump this year. I think they have a chance if they play good. Breeze stays healthy.
Yeah.
To go a little bit farther.
Right.
I feel like if Drew has any more potential to win it all or even just make it, I think this year is very key and crucial to that.
Right.
I don't know if I can see him past that.
Right. Old. Yeah, he has some miles on his tires,
for sure,
so to speak.
I mean, he's won though.
But yeah, he shows consistency. He still, I think he still got it for a couple more years. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long his contract is, but I think he'll be able to lead this team to being top 4 in the NFL.
I think
he still has a chance. Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
And then number 5 is the Green Bay Packers.
I don't know, man. I feel like I think it's wishful thinking. They have a lot of turmoil. Aaron Rodgers being vocal about not being helped by his organization to make a better team and put better players around him to give him a chance to win. Like, that's the goal, right?
Right.
And sadly they beat my Steelers in the Super Bowl, but after that I don't think they've really tried to help Aaron Rodgers much. He's just more of a spectacle than part of the team and trying to be a part of a winning organization. But
I don't know. I kind of see number 5 is kind of too high for me.
I think so.
Just a little bit too high.
8 is a little bit more where I was thinking.
8, 10. Right.
Exactly.
But who knows? It's way too early. Way too early rankings for a reason, right?
Exactly. They can prove us wrong.
Number 6 would be the Seattle Seahawks.
I like
with Russell Wilson. I think that's a good number. For some reason, it seems like every year they always end up in the playoffs. That's what it seems like. They're not doing good, and then out of nowhere, at the end of the season, they're in the playoff run. They're in, the wild card. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess they're in. I didn't even know. I thought they were kind of out.
And they're always really solid.
Right. They never.
Defense is great. It hasn't been like as amazing as it was, when they had Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor, and KJ Wright, and all those players. They haven't been as prominent since then, but they're still pretty solid.
Yeah.
Obviously, the offense, they don't even think about when's the last time they had a great receiver, right? Not really like. I don't think they've really ever had great receivers in Seattle, other than the players that they did have, Golden Tate, Pierce, I believe is the other one. It's mainly Russell Wilson's show,
right?
So I think him being as great as he is, 6 is not a bad choice.
Okay,
it's not impossible.
Right. And then number 7, they have. And I'm sorry, this is based on ESPN.com.
Right. Sources.
Yes. Just so we're all clear. Number 7, they have Tennessee Titans. To me, that's a little too high.
You think so?
I mean, they made a good playoff run last year.
Derrick Henry was a big part.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. Are they sticking with Ryan Tannehill?
Dude, I don't know if you remember, but there was kind of a little bit like a little drama where Tannehill got paid off of half a season, and Derrick Henry was the one that was supposed to get this big max extension or new contract, and they paid Tannehill, and I think they franchise tagged Derrick Henry.
Really?
For the last time, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
So it was it's so fucked up, but
right.
To
me that's just a little too high. Hopefully, I hope Derrick Henry has a good season, of course.
Yeah.
It's always fun to see that, but to me 7 is a little too high. You never know. They can definitely prove us wrong, 100%. Without a doubt. Number 8, they have Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
Wow.
It's not bad. Kirk Cousins isn't a terrible quarterback.
But they did trade
Sticks. That is right.
So I forget who they took in the draft or what their move was.
I believe they got a receiver. I can't remember.
I don't remember exactly, but yeah, they got Diggs. So I'm not sure unless they replaced him with someone else. I'm not sure. They did
because they were talking about Diggs' replacement. I just can't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know. 8. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
I think it's high because Thielen. Thielen is their number 1 receiver now. He was great.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was great, Adam Thielen. But let's make
story.
Yeah, let's make no joke about it. Diggs was there too.
Definitely.
And Diggs was a killer. So
he went to the Bills.
That sucks.
Wow. Oh, but speaking of the Bills. Number 9.
Yeah. So I think they'll be pretty good because Josh Allen is starting to play.
Yeah.
Starting to play. So if they got a couple, they got a good receiver. So I don't know how the running game is doing. I believe they had McCoy back there.
Yeah, they were getting it together.
They had Frank Gore, I believe, too. I don't know where he was.
They had Frank Gore, I believe.
Okay, so so they weren't too bad. I think as long as they get more talent, they can be pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just cold up there.
No one likes playing in the cold. Yeah, no, that's football weather. As they say, football weather in the snow. Anyways, and then number 10, Tampa Bay, or should we call it Tampa?
Tampa Bay. There was another one. It was.
Was there?
Tampa Bay, and it was, I don't know.
The Buccaneers, Bradyneers.
There was another one.
I don't know.
But
they're at number 10. Yeah. Obviously, they got.
I like it.
Brady.
I think they have potential. Obviously, if Gronk's healthy, I mean, he's unstoppable.
That's it. I can't wait. This is to me.
I just want to see the system.
I think this is the most excited I've been for like an actual NFL. Season, in a while, every season it's like, oh, okay,
exactly.
This season is like, oh,
people want to watch so much movement.
Yeah,
Cam Newton losing his job, a whole bunch
a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, Tua. It's kind of. I think it was an exciting season because we were seeing a lot of moving pieces, just like the NBA. Every now and then there's a
it's like this past offseason.
Exactly, it's just like it's fun to see. So I agree with it, but I don't know how great their defense is. I mean, we obviously didn't really pay attention to that much, but
right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just want to see where your Steelers were.
15.
Oh, they have.
We're gonna shock 15. The world, man. I'm telling you what. Yeah? We're gonna shock the world. We're going for 7. Let's do it.
And not to mention my Jets are 26.
26. That's a terrible choice. The only good thing about them is their green color.
Speaking of the Jets, Frank Gore signed a 1-year deal with the Jets.
Shout out, man.
It's his 16th season.
Living legend.
16th season. He turned 37 this month.
Old man, but
I personally thought he retired. Like after last season, I thought last season was kind of like calling it good. And then I saw this obviously in social media. I saw that they signed him. I was like.
Shout out Frank Gore, man. He's been doing this since the Miami days. Shout out to you. And he's a great freaking running back. Healthy, obviously, still playing at this age. As a running back, it's not very easy.
You get hit a lot.
It's tough. A lot of that's why they sometimes say that running back's career lasts maybe 5 to 6 years. But they barely get out of their rookie contract, and they're already done.
Right, yeah, but he's still coming back for 16 seasons. Yeah, so it's to my Jets. So I'm obviously I'm not expecting a breaking record or a season where he breaks a ton of records. You know, I'm not sure if he's coming for that number one rushing spot.
I think he has it.
I think he might be like top 3 or top 5. I'm not sure what he is.
He's close.
He's close. I'm not sure if that's what he's chasing or if he, he just loves football so much that.
I mean, his son is a freshman now. I believe
is he?
In college, so.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I think something like that. So, he has a chance if he gives maybe let's say 4 more years. Shit, he might be
4 more years. Oh,
might be playing with his son.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. It's kind of like the LeBron situation. We might see Bronny and LeBron.
Right. And then speaking of other running backs,
what we got next?
We got Marshawn Lynch.
I'm excited.
Coming out that his agent is supposedly talking to Seattle Seahawks.
I like that idea.
Where was he? Was he playing last year? Oh, he went to the Seahawks.
Yeah,
right.
Because he was with.
So they just signed him a 1-year deal, right?
Yeah, he was with Oakland, 1-year deal with Seattle, and then this is now. Because he was talking about like, take care of your chicken, make sure your head's right and stuff like that, like that exit speech or interview, whatever they call it.
Right. So yeah, his agent is talking to the Hawks on a possible return, which I find, I think it's meant to be. He's
a Seattle man.
Yeah,
he's a Seattle Seahawk.
Definitely.
Everyone remembers the earthquake, crowd breaker when he broke off against New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken, but.
That was
good, man.
Crazy. Yeah, he supposedly
deserves it.
Might come back, so that'll be some exciting news if he does.
For sure.
And then we got some sad news. Don Shula, he had passed away.
R.I.P.
Condolences to him or to his family.
Great coach.
He was
legendary.
He was legendary. He had the most regular season wins in the NFL history. He had, if I'm not mistaken, 328 wins.
Yeah.
So our condolences are with those affected and
love and prayers.
Yes. And then now we're moving to the end.
Switch it up, man. Dun, 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 dun.
A lot of stuff happened this past week in the NBA. A lot of facilities opening or about to open, and then there's other teams like Mark Cuban refusing to actually open. He says it's not worth the risk. And Adam Silver came out and said quite a bit of stuff. He's obviously telling teams that this is, I'm not sure what the quote was, but it's saying this is the toughest challenge of our lives, getting over this. Just telling teams that if there is a reopen, it's most likely going to be without fans.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That there's going to be only 2 destinations where teams will play if the season resumes, which would be Las Vegas and Florida.
Right.
And obviously we're all optimistic. We want it to happen, but obviously safety always comes first.
Exactly, and I feel like we've talked about that before. I would only be comfortable if it's like 100% safe and everyone's 100% comfortable.
Right.
Right. That, and I wouldn't put anything over that, because that's the number one priority. Of
course.
I would put my feelings second, obviously, because it's obviously just my opinion, and a source of entertainment isn't like worth their life.
Right.
For me, if that
definitely. But so obviously we're still staying optimistic. But if safety is like a question, then I wouldn't. Exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I want to ask you something though.
Let's do it.
So if the season does resume, obviously players like KD, Kyrie, Giannis, not Steph, he was already back. John Wall, Clay. I mean the Warriors are kind of not in the playoffs. So what I'm trying to get at is, would you be all right with them coming back onto the team and playing for the playoffs?
Yeah, why not?
And there's a lot of people saying that, like, because obviously right now the Nets are 7th seed, and they would be, if this playoffs were to start now, they would be facing the Raptors.
Right.
And obviously Raptor fans are like, oh, that's not fair. That if the season resumes, that he gets to play, because
they'll finally get to realize that if we had KD, they would have won.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see what you thought about that. If
I wouldn't mind, man. It's just kind of like who the hell knows when a global pandemic is going to be, right? Like, can you blame Kevin Durant for that?
Right.
Can you blame Kyrie Irving? Can you blame all these players for a global pandemic, and that it just so happens that the time that passed, was enough for him to heal. I'm not gonna put that on him.
Right. The only reason I brought up Giannis was because I don't know if you remember, before this whole season got postponed, he got hurt and he was out.
That's right.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. He was out, so the Bucks were kind of losing some games, and I was hoping our Lakers would be creeping up for that best record in the NBA.
Right, which I think we did, right?
We don't. We still don't. We're second best.
We're the first in the West.
First in the West, yes, but not all in NBA.
So Bucks got us.
Yeah. And then you brought up we were texting through the week because obviously we talk during the week. We don't just talk.
Yeah.
One day out of the week.
Not just Saturday or Friday, whenever we film it.
So I'm popping a picture right here, hopefully somewhere right here.
Somewhere.
Which player from the 2000s?
That's right.
Wish had a longer career? Obviously, there's some players that they get their season kind of.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it a little bit before, like the Greg Oden situation.
Right.
Andrew Bynum, I don't know if we talked about that, which are actually on the list.
Right. So obviously you guys can see the players here.
Yeah.
But for you, we'll go Jay Williams.
Right.
Andrew Bynum,
right.
Greg Oden, Brandon Roy, Gilbert Arenas, and Yao Ming.
I'm gonna be straight up right out the bat. Yao Ming is not someone that I would want to see a little bit longer. He had a great career. He was fun, and
right.
I'm excited to get that one crossed out. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, okay. Cut to the point, huh?
Yeah, but you can go first. What
you want me?
Yeah. Let's start by the elimination process, and then we'll get to the.
I personally didn't watch Jay Williams.
Okay.
So he's obviously off for me.
Okay.
I think you're right with Yao Ming because he's more old style.
Get him out of here.
He's more old style. Back in the day when there was a true center, not power forward / center.
Right. Or small ball now, right?
Yeah. So I think he's out of the equation just because I don't think he'd be as effective as he was back then.
Right.
Very
true.
So
he'd be very one-dimensional.
Yeah. I think it goes same with Andrew Bynum. Although he was obviously a former Laker. I wish he would have stayed.
This is fan on fan or not fan. What do you call it? This is a crime committed by a Laker fan to a Laker player. You can't just hate on him, man.
I know, but
can't just hate on him.
I truly believe if he wasn't hurt for the finals, the year they lost to the Celtics in 2008, I think they would have beat the Celtics.
Think we would have three-peated?
Yeah, if they had Andrew Bynum that year. I think they would have beat him. I think the Celtics would have been ringless in the 21st century.
And then the Kobe and LeBron, or just the Kobe and MJ discussion would be a little bit tighter.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then there's Greg Oden. He's another one where it's just one-dimensional, like you said.
It was great, though. It was fun.
I wish he actually even had, some of these guys had a couple decent years. Andrew Bynum had a couple years. He obviously played with the Lakers. Right. Greg Oden didn't really even. He got some chances, but, in the D League and stuff.
Yeah,
he didn't really get. I felt like he didn't get to his full potential.
He never.
And we saw it glimpses in college and stuff.
Yeah, which got him the number 1 pick.
Right. He deserved it. Yeah. But, it's unfortunate to. And which leaves Brandon Roy and Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. I think I would have to go with Brandon Roy.
I was going to say, I know we saw a little bit more of Brandon compared to Gilbert, because Gilbert was a little bit earlier, if I'm not mistaken. So we saw a little bit more of Brandon Roy.
Right,
I remember that, that big-ass
shot.
Buzzer beater.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one highlight everyone
remembers
can bring up about Brandon Roy. So. But as far as the stories and just kind of like watching, tapes over the years, or highlights, whatever you want to call them, of Gilbert Arenas, he was a bad man, right? Yeah. And Kobe actually respected both
Agent
of those.
Zero?
But there's clear interviews of Gilbert talking about how Kobe liked the dog and Gilbert Arenas. And I actually was just watching one earlier this day. He was just talking about how he was trying to mental just out smart or beat out Kobe in the mental warfare that they were going through. So that was fun, and I would have to go with out of those. I know you chose Brandon Roy, but I would say definitely not Yao Ming. Who's the other one?
Jay
Williams. I didn't really see him play much from what I saw, though, like highlights and stuff. He's good. I'm not going to say it, but right. I don't really know him that well. Definitely not Odin. Bynum, like you said. I mean, Laker on Laker crime. Yeah, I'm going to have to cut him out, too, because I didn't feel like he was that great. He was good, but he wasn't, like, that great. Right. So it's between Gilbert and I would say Gilbert, just because I think – just his persona and his way he carries himself, his demeanor. Right. It's just dope. Like he wore Dolce Gabbanas to a game, like stuff like that.
Right. He was I mean, no doubt he would have been fun to watch
for sure.
But to me, Brandon Roy. I mean,
he's great, man.
The way the game's played today. I mean, yeah, Brandon Roy would have fit too, or not Brandon Roy. I'm sorry, Gilbert. He would have fit well, but I don't know. I think it would have been fun. I think. Brandon Roy would have been, top 5 in point guard.
Yeah.
I saw also John Wall.
Yeah.
He's coming. He's making. I don't know if we talked about this.
I know he got his surgery done, and I was watching and listening to the podcast with Matt Barnes. Shout out Matt Barnes and I believe it's Jackson. Steven Jackson. That do the podcast. So I love that podcast.
We Believe.
Yep. The We Believe team. But so the podcast and John Wall's great, man.
Right.
He's talking about like how he's getting healthy and mentally healthy as well, because he's going through his battles. But it was good to see him.
Yeah. I hope he does come back, really healthy and to his full potential. Cause
as a Kentucky fan.
Oh yeah, he's fun. He has a good style.
I really support him. I hope he gets back.
Right.
I hope he comes back as a great all-star.
What did you think about the MJ documentary? How's it going for you?
Oh man, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. And I love it because like I tweeted it, and I know you saw it. I said something like taking notes during this.
Yeah.
Because like I'm really like trying to study this man. Like,
right.
His obsession and just his way about himself and how he's just like so determined to win and by any means necessary. He would literally fight his teammates. He would the Steve Kerr stuff and
right.
He wasn't afraid to be himself. He owned his mistakes. And he lived his life, and he's a great fucking player. So it's just dope seeing that. And I'm just trying to like analyze how he conducts himself and
right,
and just that killer mentality that I kind of want to attach to my
it's definitely a fun series. It's I like how it's 2 episodes every weekend, every Sunday.
Man, Michael Jordan and ESPN are the only 2 entities, whatever you want to call it, that are able to make 2 hours feel like 10 minutes. Because
I know
it's commercial break, and you're like, oh my god, it's an hour into it.
That's what I'm saying.
Dang.
Every time, every time me and my wife watch it, and it ends.
Shout out. We didn't shout out this time.
I said shout out. Come on, bro.
Yeah, right.
I'm ahead of this. How he or what was I saying? How there's 2 episodes. How when one episode ends, I look at the clock and like you said, it's been an hour, and I tell her, I'm like, there's no way that was an hour.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
It's so good. It just has you sucked in.
Yeah, it does.
That, the clip, like, it may be like just a small clip, and then it just turns into the next 15 minutes, and you're just like, oh, and then the next 15 minutes. Right. It's like,
I think it's love it. It's well produced or directed, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it.
Produced, directed.
Directed, or put together, I guess. A documentary house put together. So I think this Sunday is the last episodes.
No, I think we.
Or is there another one after that?
Because that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe this is 7, 8, and then we have 10? 9, 10.
Oh,
I believe it may be 8, but I believe it's 10.
Anyways, it's going pretty good.
I love it.
I'm enjoying. If you're not watching it, I say you jump on top of that.
For sure, those dogs are. And even
there's some rare footage in that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say you have to be like a basketball fan or a sport fan. Like I think it's just a great documentary that anyone can enjoy.
Right.
Kind of maybe introduce them a little bit to the sport.
And like there's no way you don't know who Michael Jordan is, So.
Maybe coming up in this generation, it's starting to get
you
there.
think so? There's brand though. There's Air Jordan. Imagine this, John. Him signing with Adidas. I don't know if
that was crazy.
Oh my God, that would have been.
I see his perspective, but I don't think Adidas was willing to like pull out their checkbook and be like.
And shout out to his mom.
Yeah,
his
man.
mom was the one that made him go.
Jordan, not made him, but very much
go
influenced.
Listen to him.
Exactly.
Go listen to him.
Very much, influenced his decision. So
right.
that was cool how he through Mama and Papa, they were able to kind of, in a sense, convince him to take that meeting. And looking now, it's $1 billion company. If I'm not
I wonder if it would have been the same with. It's weird to see like Jordan
not with
and Adidas. I'm like, wait, what?
I don't know because like. Think about how like Jordan basically like had this brand which Adidas wasn't really willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if Adidas wasn't willing to give him that brand, at least right off the bat, do you think it would have made as much of a global impact? Mm-hmm. I mean, tell me not the ones, right? They came out in '84, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Are still probably one of the more famous, if not the most famous Jordan out there. That's true. The ones, because there's just so much collabs. I mean, the Off-Whites and just remakes and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't think if he didn't have that with Adidas, it wouldn't have been as successful.
And it's crazy how Nike actually rolled the dice on Jordan.
Yeah, man.
He obviously I think it was his rookie season. He got that contract. And people were saying like, why would you sign a rookie to this kind of contract? Because he was going to get paid a lot. I'm not sure exactly the exact numbers.
And they were comparing it to like tennis players, how they would have their own brand. Which
right.
It's kind of weird to think about now how that wasn't a thing then, because everyone has that now.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. But.
Yeah. And then within that documentary, if you're not watching it, they brought up some old tape of Charles Barkley.
Chuck Barkley.
He played for the Suns, the Rockets.
Shout out Barkley, man.
Not sure if he played for anyone else other than that. I'm not sure.
He played for
Suns, Rockets.
Well, his first team was Philadelphia.
Oh, that's right. He
played with Malone out there. I think he was just after Julius Erving, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, but I know he went from Philly to, I believe, the Suns, and then he ended with the Rockets.
So, there was some rare footage of him playing, and he was a beast.
I brought up a lot of good and valid points that people were forgetting.
Yeah. So I don't if you're not familiar, people are comparing Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors to Charles.
They're not really comparing them, but it was an argument discussion within the last couple of years. It's pretty recent, but not that recent.
Right.
They were saying like, Draymond is basically saying like, yeah, I mean, I'm a 3-time champion.
Mm-hmm.
Chuck is not. I'm great. Basically, people were like, yeah, well, maybe Draymond Green is like,
right.
That good, and then comparable to Chuck, which I'm not saying Draymond Green is not great, but the offense that Charles Barkley was able to provide and rebound, his defense was all right.
Mm-hmm.
He was obviously an Olympian, and there's no joke. It just sucks that like between Draymond and Charles, the difference is that Draymond has 3 rings.
Yeah.
But he also had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. So that's 3 stars ahead of him. Who was ahead of Charles? No one. He was only looking past them or behind them with, they had great players. Don't get me wrong, but it's not Steph, Klay,
that's
KD,
true. That's true.
And
so I think just a lot of people forgot how good Charles was.
Yeah, it was a good reminder.
Yes,
a lot of people woken up to that.
Right.
Stay woke, people.
So you let us know who you think is better.
If you think Draymond, we can talk about it, man. I'm going with Chuck.
We're a DM away if you need to talk.
Come in the comments.
And I'm not sure if you heard, Pau Gasol. He is a free agent this year. He was on the coaching staff for
San Antonio?
Yeah, I think so. The Bulls?
I don't know.
He was on a coaching staff. Some team. We forget. Yeah. I apologize for that. But he's a free, I guess, with Portland. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
And then they had released him, and
that's right.
Something happened.
Right. That's right.
So he's a free agent this year, and I guess some stuff came up. And he said obviously he's towards the end of his career. But how it would be great for him to come back to the Lakers and retire.
I like it. I love it. He's a legend. Won a couple chips with us.
Yes.
Kobe specifically. And
I definitely think that the Lakers should put his jersey up in the rafts.
If if Paul Pierce can get that treatment with the Celtics, Paul Gasol.
Yeah, he deserves it. So I really, obviously as a Laker fan, I hope that happens. That'd be great. Sure. And if he signs a one-year deal, they might even win a chip. And he might add something to his resume. He's
not a bad player. He's old and slow, but he's not a bad player.
Right. I mean, he's obviously more of an old school kind. Is he a center or center, right?
Well, I mean, when he was with the Lakers, he played the PF.
Right. That's why I'm not sure now.
But afterwards, he played a little bit of center. Yeah.
Right.
Small ball, right?
Yeah. So I really hope that happens. So
yeah.
Lakers, if you're watching,
let's do it, man.
Please do it. I'm begging you. That'd be fun.
Oh, we got some juicy. Shout out Doja. Do you want to talk about it? 6ix9ine, man. 6ix9ine is back.
Wow.
6ix9ine is back. What's your honest opinions on it? Was it a dub for 6ix9ine or was it a?
I mean, he put. I think it was a good one.
Shit, man, it's kind of astonishing.
He provided. He went on live. He obviously dropped the song. He went live today.
Mm-hmm.
And
all of that.
He gave out some facts that about his questionable decisions. What did you think about the song, though?
Personally, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, dang, 6ix9ine is a lyricist. Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb? Huh? He's great. In that aspect, I think he does what he does well. Mm-hmm. I don't expect anything like over the top amazing like a Frank Ocean project or a Kid Cudi project.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would from a 6ix9ine project. Right. So I think just what he does is entertainment, and
I thought it was fun. It was funny. It made me laugh.
I tuned in live. It was
2 million people. You weren't the only one, John. You weren't the only one.
I was one of 2 million something.
2 million.
That's crazy. That's broken records.
And a lot of I noticed, and a lot of verified.
It was all verified comments.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I don't know how that feature is done, but it allows them to just specifically have famous people only. I was funny though because I was commenting and I was like, "Damn, I'm the only one commenting with verified."
Oh no!
And then I was like, "I'm so dumb. Like I'm so dumb." But it was funny, man.
I was talking to my wife about it, and I told her how I'm pretty sure there's a lot of famous people that don't want to be like seen associated with that name in person.
I don't know
that they use fake. They're using a fake account to watch it. Not a fake account. Instas? Oh, Finstas.
Oh, like a Finsta, right.
And to watch it, because I'm pretty sure there's no way we're not gonna watch it. Mm-hmm. I think it was just something, even if you didn't like him.
There's people that don't care for it. And
that's anyway, if you're in the social media kind of world,
it was. I was surprised at some of the people I was saying, but it was funny to watch. It was entertaining. He's back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
6ix9ine is back.
Definitely let us know if.
What's your take on it, man? I know there's opinions on him. I just want to say we both don't follow the G code. So if we say he's a funny guy, that's what it is. He's just funny to us. We don't follow that.
Wrong with that. Yeah. So that's pretty funny to me.
Yeah.
That he came back. John, today some news came out.
Damn, some sad news, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. If you don't know already, UFC 249. I don't think it's in question yet. I believe from what I was reading, they were saying.
This is out obviously as of today. Today's Friday.
As of today, yeah. It's just recently we actually found out within the last hour or so.
Yeah.
Jacare Sosa
tested
positive for COVID. So, and as well as I believe a couple of trainers he had with him. So.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So I don't know if UFC 249 is in question. I haven't paid for it yet, but I was definitely gonna pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna watch that shit because I was hoping for some, to see some good fights. But
right.
I don't know if this is gonna damper like any other leagues because I know the Bundesliga, the soccer league I believe it was the Bundesliga, was looking to get started as well, May 16th.
Right.
So I don't know if it's gonna put like
a scare.
Yeah, like, and people are gonna be like, all right, well, maybe we're not.
Yeah. So obviously, I think a lot of associations are watching this and see how this plays out. You know,
which it's already not off to a great start.
Right. It's unfortunate what happened. Hopefully they all stay well. You know.
Yeah. And here's the fucked up part. I heard that the guy wasn't even gonna take the fight, but he kind of had. And I don't know if this is true. I just saw it on Twitter. He had to take the fight because he didn't want to lose his house or something like that.
Oh wow.
And that just makes it even worse because he's like he knowingly kind of knew that he might have had it, not through because of his own fault, but through family. I believe was the report. Again, I don't know if it's true or not.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, it's like he had to do that because he had to, and now he just kind of like,
damn.
It puts him in a worse spot because now he has a bad limelight on him, and it's just like and it just sucks.
It does. So. I obviously, if you guys know me, I don't really watch much UFC, so I need to ask you: was he the underdog or was he?
I would personally. Sure. I don't know what the numbers were because I don't really look at betting and stuff. But if I'm looking at, because he was fighting Uriah Hall, which I know I kind of like was explaining who he is. He was a pretty good guy, but he was kind of on his way. He's definitely on his way out.
Okay.
But he still fights. But anyways, I would say that Sosa had a better chance of winning.
Really?
I think so. He's old as hell, but
right.
I mean, he was not too long ago. I mean, we can all recall last year, the MMA fans. He was in the top 3 of the, within, or the top 3 in the division, and maybe 1 win away from fighting for the title in his class, which middleweight. So he wasn't done yet.
Okay.
So I think he had a better chance than Uriah Hall.
So who's the main event?
Justin Gaethje and a fun one, Justin Gaethje and Tony Ferguson.
And who do you got?
I'm taking Tony Ferguson. I love Tony, but I also love Justin because I know you don't really watch much, but Justin Gaethje is a freaking brutal brawler. Like, this guy is the type of mentality. Someone's getting knocked out, it's either you or me, and I'm okay with that. He has that kind of mentality. And then there's Tony, where they call him El Cucuy, the boogeyman, for a reason. He doesn't stop. He slices you up. He makes you hurt. And he can do it all. He can strike. He can be on the ground and wrestle a little bit with you. But I like Tony. I think he deserves it because I think he should fight because it's an interim title. So I think Tony deserves that. That title.
Okay.
The unification.
So hopefully that goes as planned. Well, obviously.
Yeah, I'm still want to see him.
Yeah, of course. I think at this point we'll take anything because we're kind of dying without sport. Not dying, but without sports it's kind of
it's a little bit boring, but
it's all right.
We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully everyone stays safe. I know we got a little bit of not UFC so much, but a UFC star news. Conor McGregor was called out by Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya, man. What is he up to, man? That guy.
I think
Oscar.
I don't know. This is boxing, right?
Yeah, they were talking about boxing.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure it wasn't UFC. Okay. Because obviously, if it was UFC, what was he thinking?
Right.
I didn't see much. I didn't see much when I saw the Mayweather and Conor fight. I didn't see much from Conor.
I'll tell you what though. I have seen a lot of respected fighters in the industry kind of say that Conor won a few. And I watched it back, and he did not do bad. No? I didn't see great boxing techniques, and he definitely tired out. Obviously, getting TK'd out or knocked out. But he wasn't bad. He just tired out. And I think Mayweather's he was still good. He's still good enough compared to Oscar. I mean, I don't know how old is he? Maybe 50.
Yeah.
I think Conor would wipe the floor with him.
Right. Sure. In boxing, obviously.
So just the last thing, Mike Tyson making a debut. Let's just really quickly, would you want to see him, yes or no?
It'd be entertaining.
It would be entertaining, but I don't want to see him back. And the reason is simply because he doesn't have anything else to prove to us.
Right.
The training videos are fun, but...
How old, 54? I believe.
53, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, he is a bit older. But, I mean, if he thinks he has the will, the strength, And if he wants to do it,
whatever.
Who am I to say?
You know.
But that'll I don't know. I think that'll be entertaining. But
yeah, man, let's wrap it up. Another week. We appreciate you guys coming back and
let us
out.
know.